I'm excited about this. If you listened to our introduction yesterday, as Dale and I were kind of getting us started with the academies yesterday, one of the things that we said was that from time to time we bring back people who have been part of our academies before. And that is the case this afternoon. You're going to get to meet one of our 2015 Leadership Academy participants. Todd Gruhn is the current CTE coordinator for the Sherman Independent School District. He is in his 7th year of education, and this is his 6th year at Sherman ISD. Prior to taking the role of CTE coordinator, Todd taught physics and AP physics, AP computer science and engineering in both Sherman and Anna ISDs. Todd also has quite a bit of industry experience. His industry experience is in information technology. Todd worked in roles ranging from being a help desk technician to being a server manager for several large consulting firms around the state of Texas. He holds a bachelor's degree in mathematics, a master's degree in educational leadership, and a master's degree in educational technology. He's currently working on his Doctor of Philosophy in Learning Technologies at the University of North Texas, and has research interest in workforce education and online learning. And this afternoon you're going to get to hear a little bit about their manufacturing academy that they have at Sherman ISD. Well, I first heard this last spring when Todd came back. This was his project for the Leadership Academy last year, and it's an amazing story. We wanted to have him back and have him share a little bit about what's going on with the manufacturing cluster and how they're approaching the workforce needs that they have in the North Texas area up around Sherman and the Red River. So Todd, welcome back, and thank you for being here.
Thank you, Ron, for that introduction, and thank you, Carol, for inviting me back to come and speak. I was able to get a lot out of this experience last year, and it's a great experience to be able to come back and speak to all of you today. Show of hands, how many of you offer courses in the manufacturing cluster at your school or in your school district? Okay. Follow-up question, how many of you that offer classes are participating in the National Manufacturing Day? How many of you knew about the National Manufacturing Day? Okay. I'm actually leaving here after this presentation to go back to Sherman because tomorrow is National Manufacturing Day, and I get the pleasure of driving a school bus to one of our local manufacturers to offload some kids. So, and we'll talk a little more about Manufacturing Day as the presentation goes on. But one of the things that I'm really passionate about is doing what's right for our kids and doing what's right for our community. And I'll give you a little bit of background as we go through here. I was born and raised in Grayson County. Didn't think I would ever leave, but soon found out that my interests in technology and the jobs in technology in Grayson County didn't quite mesh. So ended up moving south and working in Dallas, working in Houston for a while, and discovered that there are a lot of great opportunities out there that may not necessarily be evident to students just moving through our programs. For example, I went to school in Grayson County. When I graduated, I could not tell you a single manufacturing plant that existed. We probably have close to 30 large to small manufacturing industries in Grayson County that all pay really, really good wages and that all have openings almost all the time. So I wanted to make my project last year be something that I could be proud of, something that the community could be proud of and something that I could get our students involved in. Grayson County got about 125,000 people in the county. We had 3.8% growth. Okay. Now, if you look at the growth from 2015 to 2016, we've had even more rapid growth because of people moving in to some new manufacturing jobs that we've added. Median household income is about $47,600, which is below the state. Okay. Industry came to Sherman ISD, which is the largest school district in our metropolitan area. They came to us, they came to Grayson College, which is our partner in post-secondary education. And they said, look, we have all of these openings and we can't find anyone to hire. The people that we're looking at, they either don't have the soft skills to be hired, they can't pass the drug test, or they can't pass the basic skills test. So we sat down with industry. We started coming up with a game plan. This is about the same time that I came to the Leadership Academy last year. And I wouldn't recommend it to anyone else, but we pretty much fast-tracked an academy program after about 8 months. So I'm gonna spend some time talking about some details on that, but I'm gonna leave several minutes at the end for questions if you have questions. Like I said, though, ultimately we're all about what's doing right for the kids in our community, and at the time and right now, this is definitely the right thing for our students of Grayson County. All right, so Grayson County is part of the Sherman-Denison Metropolitan Statistical Area. Unemployment rate between 4 and 5. Okay, it's gone down a little bit. Kind of follows the trend of the Texas employment rate. Right now we have pretty low unemployment numbers, but as you'll find out as we go through this presentation, many of our biggest manufacturers at any point in time can lose a third of their workforce to retirement. And that's kind of scary. And that's what really opened their eyes in coming to us at the school district and the college saying we need to have a plan in place to be able to replace all of those employees that retire. People love working where they work, but ultimately you have to make a decision whether you want to wake up and still go to work every morning, and you get to a point where you don't want to. So about a third of the manufacturing workforce in Grayson County can retire at any time. The reason they came to us, manufacturing is and has been for a while the fastest growing economic sector in Grayson County. Now we have healthcare growth just like every other area in Texas, but by and large our middle skills jobs are in the manufacturing sector. The manufacturers, like I said, came to us and said that the jobs would be vacant in the next 2 to 3 years, and we needed to have a plan to replace those employees. But not only did we need to have a plan to replace those employees, we needed to have a plan to replace those employees with qualified applicants. So not just Joe Blow off the street that comes in and has had 3 jobs and can't show up on time to any of them. They want employees with soft skills, with interpersonal skills that know how to work in a team. They know how to do basic problem solving. And then they wanted workers that they knew had a baseline of training for the manufacturing setting that they could build upon. These industries wanted employees that after 5 years, they could say, look, you've done a great job here on the floor. Why don't you come and oversee this production line for me? Or you've done a great job here on the floor. Why don't we try your hand in logistics? Okay? But they wanted a employee subset that had a baseline. And that's where the help of the school district and the help of the college came in. We said, you need these employees. We know what we're teaching right now in the schools. We know what the offerings are at the college. Let's all get on the same page. Let's all collaborate and see which pieces that we can pick from the school district, which pieces we can pick from the college, which pieces we can pick from industry. Let's put it together and make this package that's really going to help the county out when we start having these employment vacancies. So the first thing that I did is I started looking at the labor market data. I started really looking at the trends and thinking, are we going to have this sustained growth, or do we need to maybe branch off a little bit? Because we didn't want to train students in methods of manufacturing that were not going to help them down the road. So I really took advantage of the Tracer 2 tool from TWC and looked at our sectors, and then I tried to pull up data and see which sectors meshed. And we have a lot of manufacturing, but a lot of the manufacturing that we do in our area requires high technology skills. So it's not just basic manufacturing. The manufacturing that our manufacturers do, they're working on valves. They're working on valves that some of them fit in your fist. Okay, that requires a lot of precision, that requires a lot of accuracy. So not only do these kids need to know basic machine shop techniques, but they need to know how to make precision measurements. Okay, they need to know how to do technical math. And it was all of those things that when I took the labor market data and I went and sat down with, at this point, I brought the neighboring school district on board because we both feed into the same college. We sat down with the college representative and we came up with a game plan. We had after the first Leadership Academy, we probably met 3 times a week for 5 weeks, just coming up with a game plan. And then, of course, those of us in public education know all about hurry up and wait. Well, it's the same thing in higher ed. It's not always that way in industry. So that's where their frustration came in, because they were having to wait on us. And so we finally came up with an academy model that was, we sort of used the Alamo Academy's model out of San Antonio as a reference, but we gave it a spin that was really compatible with our workforce and really compatible with our community. We also got the economic development agencies on board. Why would you do a thing like that, you ask? Well, they are the direct line with many of these manufacturers. And a lot of the things that the economic development agencies can do to entice or incentivize participation, we can't do in public ed. So Denison Development Alliance, Sherman Economic Development Corporation, they were instrumental in, we had the plan and we had the vision, but they were instrumental in giving it that initial push and getting the process off the ground. And then they went out and they harped on the manufacturers, they harped on the industries for sponsorships and for commitment to participate in the program, because you'll see in a minute there's an integral internship portion of our academy that we couldn't do without that industry support. So after the academy, so October, November 2015, that's when we did all the labor market research. That's when we had the meetings with Grayson College. That's when we had the meetings with manufacturers. And that's when we officially recognized the need and got the economic development agencies on board. We then started a joint task force. Joint task force consisted of Sherman ISD, Denison ISD, economic development, and the college. By January, we had a course sequence up and ready to put in our course guide, which was published in February. So it was a very quick process. It was a very laborious process, but given the work that we did with all of the stakeholders in the community, we were able to almost come up with a template that we can use for other programs as our CTE offerings expand. All of this was All of this was finalized and put in the course catalog in March 2016. We have our first cohort this fall at both high schools in the county. Right now we have about 33 kids on track to enter this academy program. So we started this fall. We have a course alignment with the college. Okay, we are leveraging both dual credit and articulated credit to get these kids industry recognized. They're college certificates, but they are recognized by our local industries. By the time they graduate, they will have 39 hours of college coursework in the advanced manufacturing program. We're currently looking at, it's in the pipeline with the Higher Education Coordinating Board to actually make this part of a degree program. And our students that are dual credit students, their senior year would then be able to graduate with an Associates of Applied Science in Advanced Manufacturing Technology. They start out in 9th grade with the Principles of Manufacturing course. Okay, that course is a local course to our school. It's a survey course for manufacturing. And it also, the Principles of Manufacturing course not only feeds our Advanced Manufacturing program, but it also feeds our STEM program. Because there's a lot of intersection between manufacturing and STEM. Okay, and we really want to hit that home with our students. That just because you think of manufacturing as being this down and dirty line of work, there's a lot of high-tech stuff involved. There's a lot of math involved. There's a lot of science involved. So all over the place, especially in the fab lab, as we call it, our manufacturing classroom, we have signs that say manufacturing equals STEM all over the place. Because that's our mantra. That's what we want our students to really understand. So they start out with that 9th grade Principles of Manufacturing class. Then they move into a Precision Metals Manufacturing class their 10th grade year. Okay, this is when we start articulating. Why do we articulate rather than doing dual credit? Well, these courses translate to some basic machine shop type stuff, technical calculations and precision tools and measurement. We don't need a huge machine shop for all of that. We can use our ag shop, we can use some of our wood shop with the additive and subtractive manufacturing devices in there. And we can use our teacher that we have that's teaching principles of manufacturing. We can leverage that teacher with an articulation agreement from the college and teach this 10th grade class on campus. Another reason that we decided to teach the 10th grade class on campus is because if we offer the class on campus, we don't run into transportation issues. The other high schools in the county are located a little more in closer proximity to the college than where we are right now. So that's another variable that we would have had to add in our planning when we were doing it in the spring. Now, when students move on to the Advanced Precision Metal Manufacturing class, that is actually a dual credit course with Grayson College. So these students that are in the 11th grade class, they will go to the college to use their facilities. They'll use their machine shop. They'll use the college's teachers. We already have dual credit welding students, and we have dual credit cosmetology students that are going to the college in the afternoon. So these students will just be bussed out there with those and not create any additional transportation costs. In turn, going out there to the college, they'll then earn credit for the basic machine shop class and then pumps, compressors, and mechanics. 12th grade, we offer the class called Manufacturing Engineering, which is also a 3-credit class currently that is a dual credit class with the college. They're transported to the college and they take electric fundamentals, print reading, and PLC programming. Now, when you look at the list of the college courses, okay, technical calculations, precision tools and measurement, okay, that makes sense for manufacturing. Basic machine shop, yes, okay. But why pumps, compressors, mechanics, electric fundamentals, print reading, PLC programming? Well, we have a mixing bowl of different manufacturing companies in Grayson County. These companies came together and looked through the courses that Grayson could offer, and with the ISDs and the college, they ranked the importance of the courses. Okay, so the courses that the colleges are offering, or the courses that the college is offering for the dual credit portion of this program, are strategically planned by the manufacturers that are going to employ our students. So not only are they going to get dual credit, not only are they going to get a certificate, they are also going to get focused and relevant training in the industries that are in our area. So whenever they graduate and the industries see that they've had this training, they will know that they are prepared to take on an advanced manufacturing technician position. And then, I didn't put it in here, but one aspect of our program, there are 2 certificates that the students will obtain. The first one is a basic manufacturing technology certificate. That one they'll get after their 11th grade year. After the 12th grade year, they will get the advanced manufacturing certificate. But in order for them to get the advanced manufacturing certificate, they have to work a summer internship. The internship is built into the college program. Every one of our industries has agreed to host students for these internships. And not only have they agreed to host students, they have also agreed on an equal competitive wage to pay these students. So there's no worrying about competition of who's going to offer the kids more money to work in there. And that internship lasts, I think, 12 weeks is what we have it. And that's the final phase of the advanced manufacturing certificate. So they'll graduate high school, they'll do their paid internship, and then they'll get their advanced manufacturing certificate from Grayson College. Pretty good deal. You have a question right quick? No, on the side with Sherman High School, those are our local courses. The Grayson College side, that's the Grayson College course that they're getting credit for.
Okay.
So it's the same course, but in PEAMS we code it one way, where the college codes it in WECM a different way. So any questions regarding that before I talk about recruiting? Because that was probably our biggest challenge, is getting students recruited because of the time sensitivity of this. Okay, we didn't have time in the fall to go and recruit kids from ag mechanics. We didn't have time in the fall to go recruit kids from architecture and construction. They found out about this program in the spring when it was finally finalized and put in the course guide, and then we had registration probably 3 weeks later. Okay, there was not a lot of lead time. But one of the ways that we circumvented having to go in and try to do recruiting for all of those classes is to take those classes on manufacturing tours when we had a local manufacturing day. And I have up here a video, it's about 8 minutes long. It's a video that our local workforce office made when we had our spring manufacturing day tours. And if you could humor me for about 8 minutes, we'll watch that. Then we'll kind of wrap it up a little bit.
Manufacturing has always been a large contributor to both our local and national economies. We have contributed trillions of dollars on an annual basis to the general economy. Your average employee in a manufacturing environment can make anywhere from $10,000 to $15,000 more per year than an individual in any other industry. In addition to that, what we contribute from a community standpoint is, a level of job stability. We're a viable employer. Manufacturing isn't what it was 10 years ago, 15 years ago, 20 years ago. We have moved from being a very manual industry to a more automated industry. There is no limit to what you can do in manufacturing. I think one of the things that we would love to see in a community plan to show students in our local area what exactly manufacturing is to do more community outreach, to invite the students into our facilities so they can see what we do on a daily basis and get a better understanding as to how deep manufacturing really goes. It's not just about manual hands-on labor, it's about design and development and working with customers and clients from around the world. And for them to really understand how deep manufacturing goes, I don't think they can get that from a textbook. I don't think they can get that, from having someone come in and speak to their classes, although we love doing that as well. I think they get the most out of these one-on-one programs where they actually have a chance to come in and see, touch, smell, feel what we do.
I think it's important for the community and for manufacturing to understand each other. As we look into our local schools, and the schools look at manufacturing, and the parents of children look at manufacturing, I think we need to be connected. We need to understand what the needs of the community are, and as well as the community knowing what the needs of manufacturing are. We're a big part of the tax base. We put a lot of money into this region, and I think it's important that we help each other succeed so that future graduates for years to come have a viable place to go to work.
I think one of the biggest benefits to having youth in our community exposed to multiple manufacturing industries is so they have a really good understanding of where what they use on a daily basis comes from. We don't think about the parts in our car and the fact that someone else has made them, that someone else has installed them, that someone else has made sure that they operate in a proper fashion and a safe manner. I think the only way they can truly grasp and understand how connected manufacturing is to their everyday lives is if they go out to those companies and they see what they do and they get an understanding of the application of the parts or the different instruments that they're making.
I enjoyed how they went into depth about their details and their planning behind all their building and their manufacturing and how everything has to run together smoothly or it won't function as well.
The whole group benefited because there was so many different jobs where kids could find something, hey, I think I could be good at that. That looks interesting to me. And so when I got the feedback from my students, they really saw things that I didn't see. I was so focused on technology, and some of them mentioned that they would like to be in charge of shipping. And one of the girls told me that she would like to be the safety guy to make sure everybody does their job and kind of an administrative role. So it was really a good opportunity for your kids to get exposure to all those careers in one setting.
I think manufacturing has been kind of hidden from the public. Over the last 10 to 15 years, there's been a big push for all children to go through a 4-year university, and manufacturing has kind of been back in the shadows. As the baby boomers have retired and we've seen more jobs open up in manufacturing, I think it's important that we as manufacturers are out in front of the public, showing them what we do, showing them the technology that we have. Again, we're not labor intensive anymore. We have a lot of technology out there that both takes cost out of our product, but also requires different skills, different challenges than just coming into a normal 8-hour job and doing the same repetitive thing over and over.
We have spent the last 10 to 15 years shipping so much of our manufacturing industry overseas, and as a result we've seen a decline in our economic structure, and we need to reclaim that, and the only way we can reclaim that is if these up-and-coming generations have the opportunity to see the value of manufacturing in our communities and understand that we need them and we value what they can bring to us generation over generation.
A high school student is interested in getting into manufacturing. You really need to focus on the science, the maths. Depending on what you're wanting to do, coming in at an entry-level job, soft skills are very important. Being able to work with a team, being able to communicate. So interpersonal communication is very important. Looking at advancing up into manufacturing, manufacturing, we're full of accountants, engineers, you're non-typical. You know, most people look at in manufacturing and think it's just a labor-intensive job. But there's countless jobs out there that require you to be good in the sciences, in the maths, in the engineering.
We were able to see all the technology that they have currently available. We're able to see people performing their jobs and maybe even a job that we can perform someday.
The benefits for Manufacturing Day for the students, they were able to see a great company. My students went to the Emerson plant or the Fisher plant, which is located in Sherman. And the biggest thing that I heard from my students was they didn't know that kind of stuff existed so locally. So it was really eye-opening for the students to see, hey, you know, there's certain jobs around here locally. When I get out of high school, if I don't want to go the college route, there's a job waiting for me if I do want to go the college route. These companies obviously hire the college degrees as well. So it was good for the students to be able to be aware of community development and the larger scale businesses that have a lot of employees. And the one that we went to, they got to talk hands-on and see some of the employees and have an interview with the employees kind of behind the scenes. And my kids gave me great feedback. You know, the employees were really happy where they were. They used the word family a lot. So it was really cool for my kids to come back and say that they wanted to work somewhere where the family atmosphere was very visible. And my kids got to ask those questions, so it was really beneficial. My name is Mr. Barnett. I teach at Denison High School. I teach computer programming, web development, and advanced research in IT. And I am a proud participant of Manufacturing Day.
Manufacturing is something you have to be passionate about. I'm passionate about it, not because I'm out there working all of the pieces, but because of the people. I've been in human resources for about 17 years. I've been in manufacturing for a majority of it, and I wouldn't want to be any other place. I love the people. I love the technicalities of what we do, and I think that if I hadn't had the opportunity to get involved in manufacturing, I would have missed out on so much, so many opportunities, so many wonderful people. But it's all about putting yourself out there and realizing that where you start today isn't necessarily where you're going to end up tomorrow. My name is Kristen Holmes. I'm the Director of Human Resources for Denison Industries, and I am proud to be a member of manufacturing in North Texas.
So as you can see by quite a bit of the video there, as they were zooming in on the people that were working, you saw a lot of gray hair. And our students noticed that, and our students took notice of that. We had them talking for days when they came back about opportunities. It was after these manufacturing tours that we really had the push to get students enrolled in this program. Right now we're looking at, I think, 31 students for our first cohort between Sherman and Denison. It's not bad, okay? Not bad for a program that was put together quickly, but we did make sure that we did our due diligence and made this a quality program. Just kind of a brief touch on the specifics of the academy that we have. Like I said, the first course in the academy is a articulated course. It's taught at the local school. The following courses are taught at the college, mainly for the lab space. I don't know about you guys, but we're kind of hard-pressed to find any extra space at our school, let alone enough space to put some machinery the size of the machinery that we need for this program. So the college graciously agreed to house the second and third for the final year of the program. Like I said, since we already have some dual credit programs at the college, we will be transporting them out there. Okay, I briefly discussed the internship. The internship is built into the curriculum for the certificate. So if they don't complete the internship, they don't earn the certificate. And the idea behind the internship is for these kids that go through the program, if they do a knockout job at these manufacturers, they're going to get offered a position. And they're not going to get offered necessarily an entry-level position, because they will have had the coursework and the hands-on time to show those manufacturers that, yes, they're in it for the long haul, and yes, they have the experience and the education that they need to be successful in those jobs. Okay, the program costs, most of the program costs are covered by the industries. So the industries and the economic development organizations got together, and for the dual credit courses, they're covering the tuition, they are working on the books, and they're covering the fees. Okay. Some of the equipment costs are split between the college and the school district. I will tell you that my cost as an ISD for this part of the program so far has been less than $1,200. And that's sets of books that I've had to pay for, some precision measuring tools. The local industries have been more than generous in helping us out in getting this off the ground. We are currently waiting on the status of a National Science Foundation grant that we submitted to help with some of the larger equipment. That grant's been submitted. We should find out something about that in the next month or so. Texas Workforce Commission is also pursuing some grant opportunities with matching grants from employers. So if you're interested in creating something like this, if it's truly in need of your community, go for it, and money will, I won't say money will get thrown at you. You'll have to drag it out in some cases, but for the most part, the money is there, the support is there. It's just the vision and the initial push off the ground that a lot of these places are looking for. We did apply for a couple of other equipment grants, and our employment rate was too low, or unemployment rate was too low, because that doesn't necessarily take into account all of the impending retirements that are going to come up. But that's the way it works, and there were some very competitive projects that we were working with in the grant process. So, okay, so that's it for the Manufacturing Academy. Like I said, the model that we developed could be used for just about any other industry. We're working on one right now with health science, which is our other big need in our area. We're looking, I put CA in there, that should actually be CNA, at a CNA patient care tech program at the high school that's articulated with the college. So by the time that our students, in between their junior and senior year, they can take the CNA and PCT test. And then if they want to continue on to do pharmacy tech, they can do that. If they want to do EMT training, they can do that. We're working on an agreement with the college on that. And then they'll also have the option for a bridge program to LVN or RN. They are students that go through this Health Science Academy model once everything is approved. When they're trying to get into the RN program at Grayson College, which is extremely competitive, they'll be given priority points to help them kind of stand out and to help us grow our own. And we're looking and working on an IT academy. Okay? Cybersecurity is huge right now, and we have tons of students that are interested. The jobs are there. There's just no post-secondary training immediately available for them. We're trying to change that. And then we're working on making our HVAC, building trades, construction, we're working on making those programs more robust as well, and doing some lab arrangements with the college to ease the burden on us a little bit and get the kids in those environments and in a program that they can not only get the industry certifications but also get some local college certifications. So, all right, any questions? We are looking at the new Academy Incentive Grant that was just released. Just about an hour ago, I got off the phone with my assistant superintendent. We're going to start brainstorming on that into actually seeing what we can do to take what we have here and modify it into the early college, high school setting. But we have about 7,200 students in the district. We're about 1820, 1825 at the high school, and probably 85 to 87% of those students are in CT courses. So we have a huge number to work with, which is part of the reason why we're out of space and looking for alternatives such as this to help us. But yeah, we're definitely in the planning stages for that early college, high school grant. Yes, ma'am. The key differences between articulated credit and dual credit. Well, first of all, articulated credit is housed at the high school, so the students do not have to pay tuition for it. There's also less of a burden on the instructor requirements. The instructor has to be a certified instructor by the state of Texas to teach the high school courses that he's teaching. If we did dual credit all the way, not only would he have to be certified through TEA and SBEC, he would also have to meet the certification requirements of the Higher Education Coordinating Board.
That would just be adjunct status?
It would be adjunct. It would be more of like a workforce learning adjunct type thing. The articulated course, whenever they apply, so normally with an articulated course, whenever they apply to the college has the PEIMS number that shows up on their transcript. When the college sees that number and sees that they made an 80 or above, the college, in accordance to the articulation agreement, grants them credit for the college course, and it automatically goes on their college transcript. So they don't have to spend any classroom time at the college. With this program, that articulation process will be done, instead of after they graduate, it will be done between their 10th and 11th grade year, and it'll just kind of be, that credit will kind of be hanging out there until they're officially admitted into the dual credit part of but they'll still get the college credit to count toward the certificate requirements.
Okay, let's give Todd a big hand for being here today. Thank you, Todd.